Hey man, say man.
This Ed and Dez.
It's Dez and Ed, man. Podcast from around the way. So we starting off today. Oh, you get it.
Oh, yeah. Don't play all damn day. Get you straight.
And
Shout out to GB.
Yeah, indeed. So today we are covering more about the playoffs in the NBA. Two series, Boston versus Philadelphia, and we're gonna go over the Lakers versus the Warriors that just ended, and we're gonna preview the Lakers versus the Nuggets going in. We got some stuff on that. We're gonna go over for the Memphis Grizzlies. Tyus Jones, what to do? He got one more year left on the contract, and we pretty much know he's not coming back because they only signed him to a 2-year deal. So we're gonna go over that, and we're gonna go over Ed's experience at USFL game. At the Liberty Bowl here in Memphis. We're gonna go over like what it's like for the USFL, just let people know what pro football look like outside the NFL from a fan's experience doing the game. Let's start off with Boston versus Philly. Philly had them dead in the water in that game 6 toward the end. They pretty much did everything they could possibly do to cough that game up. They went out of their way to, basically fumble that one. From coaching to the players, they had their foot on their neck and they just couldn't finish them. And Jason Tatum, he woke up at the very end. That Mamba mentality, it kicked in at the very the efficiency part of the Mamba mentality kicked in at the end. But once he hit that step back 3 over Embiid, that was a wrap to me. I look for tonight's game. I want to see if DeAnthony Melton can do what he had been doing the first round that he didn't do in Memphis at all in the playoffs. I want to see if he could do something. I'm looking for them to go to Embiid because that, to me, that's what cost them game 6 was not going to Embiid down the stretch in one-on-one. Boston clearly ain't got nobody for him. He don't even got a flop to live at the line against them. Horford them just don't, to me, stand a chance. Him or Williams.
Too low.
They won't even put Williams on him because he just ain't got to wait. So it'll be intriguing to see how this game goes tonight, and if Harden bothers to show up because he didn't show up in Game 6. He just didn't. So what was your takes on the Game 6 and what you see for Game 7 tonight?
Actually, kind of similar, honestly, with Embiid. I'm wondering with Doc, did he do that purposely, not to wear it out in terms of letting them eventually figure it out? If they would have just ran Embiid into the ground against them, even though they would have scored pretty much every possession. But I wonder, did he save some of it to where they can't figure it, to where, I'm going to pull back on it just to give them enough to where they don't figure it out so I can give them some more of it in game 7. You think so? I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just wondering if that's what was coming through my mind as I watched the game, because I was wondering, what is Doc doing? Why are you not going to Embiid? And it's like you said, it's a guarantee.
I mean, he's 7'1", about 285 pounds.
Right, probably 300 on his big ass.
Somebody that large, I don't know if you can hide them.
Right.
I don't know if you can hide this strategy
or figure them out.
Yeah, he the MVP. So to me, you go to what's going to kill the opponent until they stop it. Right. And that's a form of basketball that we really don't see that much anymore. But yeah, you got to keep going to the matchup that nobody can do anything about until they can do something about it. And you got to keep playing the lineup that best serves to complement that person and get them space to operate. Seeing I forget how to pronounce his name, but number 20 for the Sixers getting in the game. I don't know how Doc can put him back in the game. I just don't get how he can put him in the game. The guy is a liability on defense.
Number 20.
Yang, what's his name? Yang?
George Yang.
Yeah,
Big Bang Yang.
He just out there defensively not doing too much of anything. Offensively,
he stretched the court.
But if it ain't fouling, because it hasn't been fouling in the playoffs, what do you do with that? Yeah. It's like I'd rather,
I think Doc Charlie's probably just trying to play him because I seen him. I think he hit 1 or 2 threes last game. Didn't he? I know he hit at least one in the corner, the top corner. But I think Doc Trout was just trying to play the law of averages. Like, I know this man is a shooter, so eventually he gonna get his shot going if he continue to play. Versus if I let him ride on the bench, I might need him later, type of thing.
I mean, to me personally, Daniel House is clearly the better basketball player. Clearly the better option. He can put the ball on the floor. He got a jump shot because he was shooting in Houston when Harden and Paul was there, right? Mm-hmm. So the dude got the shot, right? So to me, you give him the ball, you put him in the game, and he shows you what he can do. He can create. As far as from the Boston standpoint, Jason Tatum ain't shooting that bad again. He does do goose eggs sometimes in the playoffs. He comes out as a dud at some games. But that's not happening this game in Boston.
What was he, first team all NBA? First or second?
I think this year he might have made, first, I think.
That's crazy to go out there and put a dud. Like, Ja was averaging 25 with one hand. And you go out there and put it. I know the playoffs don't count, but I'm just thinking about that. Like, somebody go out there and go 1 for 20 pretty much like he did the last game, and you first team all NBA is crazy. But
I mean, Tatum do that every year. Every year, Tatum have some really bad games. Look at the finals last year. Like him and Brown percentages were horrible.
That's why I don't consider, like, how everybody try to say he got the Mamba mentality. He do, but it's a short fuse version of it. It's like a cheaper fuse of it. Like, he's not really built like that yet to me, and he might be over time. But right now, like, I just see too many games where bro don't come out and find a way to be a killer.
I mean, the Mamba mentality, anybody can have the mentality to put the shots up. Are you going to have a skill level to hit them?
See, that's when you have, that's the difference between the short, cheap fuse version and the real Mamba mentality that goes out and gets better to make those shots. They will to get better so that when they do take them shots, the percentages are higher. So, I don't know. I mean, I know it's a side conversation. It's just something I noticed to me, like, about Tatum. I like Tatum. I love Jason Tatum. And the concept of Jason Tatum is just amazing. Since before he was even at Duke, I was a fan of Jason Tatum. So, I rock with him. I'm just one of those people, when I see you lacking, it's because to me, you kind of came off a little soft. I kind of, that right there becomes a sore thumb for me. So,
yeah, I think Marcus Smart will apply himself more. Brogdon will probably have a better game. Pretty much the Celtics, everybody's going to have a better game.
Brogdon played well the last game, though. Did he even miss? Because he was killing.
Yeah, he did good. I'm just saying he'll probably do better.
Right.
Because they smell blood in the water.
Facts.
He's trying to get to the finals. I think Boston will go out there and do what they do, and hopefully Joe Mazzulla is he can, steward them to the next level, and hope Doc do it. The difference is I think Joe Mazzulla comes back as the coach for the Celtics if they lose.
Right.
Doc is not coming back as the coach of the Sixers if they lose. I don't see that happening at all.
Because Daryl already don't want Doc. That ain't his guy. That ain't even his type of coach. So Daryl Morey already waiting to press the button on you. So you absolutely right. You don't win, bro. Your ass is grass.
Let's hope Jamie Foxx, is better so he can do another impression of Doc Rivers with the raspy voice again. So he can do that because, Doc's going to be giving an exit speech if they lose this game.
Hey, guys. No, he keeps going. Hey, guys. Hey, James. Nah, he be doing that little smile. Face sad.
It's crazy, man. Doc's voice was cool until he got to Boston that first time, man. And then he just didn't have a voice anymore.
Especially yelling at Rondo every day.
Yeah. Okay. The Los Angeles Lakers, they closed out the Warriors last night. Not shocked at all by that. They just was physically a little bit too much.
They really had them packed up. I'm gonna keep it 10 with y'all. We'll keep it A1. They really could have packed them up in game 5. They really just kind of, at the end, you can tell they realized, like, man, I ain't finna burn myself out. We got them game 6. They really could have packed them up in game 5. I believe if they had to go back to Golden State again, if it was a different formula, they would have packed them up that night. They wouldn't even play with their food that night.
I mean, I just watching Kevon Looney the first round, right? He was killing on the boards. He was the dominant force in the paint over Sabonis. He was.
He got a lot of boards. in this series too, he got not as much.
He didn't cause a headache though.
Right.
AD didn't let him be a headache, and Braun definitely didn't when he started asserting himself on the boards. The Warriors were just too small all across the board. In my personal opinion, a step too slow.
And that was the main thing with Looney and Clay. Facts.
And Kerr he didn't play Kuminga,
which is weird.
I don't know what that is, but he seemed to only want to play the younger players that their games absolutely just assisted Steph and Clay.
Shooting the three.
He didn't really care about developing people, and you can see that with Wiseman going to Detroit. And the moment he get in Detroit for the rest of the season, he almost averaged a double-double. Instantly, snap of a finger fast. They let you know the young man Ben had the game, and he is in Detroit with Jalen Duren.
Right, playing with another big.
He's there with another traditional big in this pace and space league, and they still was doing good together. So that just let you know how good and versatile.
And Marvin Bagley.
But yeah, they was never on the floor like that together though. Him and Durham was like getting double doubles together.
Right.
And man in the paint.
And the only reason why I mentioned Bagley, you are absolutely correct. The only reason why I mentioned Bagley is because the minutes.
Oh, well, yeah.
For him to be able to share minutes with all these bigs and
Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, exactly.
All these bigs, and you still was able to carve out a double-double. They were running the big man camp up there in Detroit. That's what I call it. It was a big man clip.
Yeah, they got something coming. So, with that said, and with the Warriors, Kuminga deserved the shot, I believe. He proved that last year in the playoffs against us. He deserved the shot. So, I think it might be time to move on from Kerr. And whatever coaching staff is there.
Wow.
In my opinion.
Wow.
You can't blow that much young talent, lottery talent. Like you blew two.
Right.
Like, because Kuminga's wasting away. Apparently he wants a larger, more prominent role. Like, this guy is 20, 21. Like, he deserves 20. He's 20. Yeah, he deserves a more prominent role at 6'9". He's a wing. They misused him as a big.
Kerr said specifically, and I quote, he thinks he's a small forward, but he's really a power forward.
Yeah, and Steve Kerr obviously was wrong because he also didn't think James Wiseman belonged on that floor, and he would have definitely helped them out against the Lakers.
Oh, and he also didn't think Kevin Looney was an NBA player. A lot of people don't A lot of people don't realize this. Kerr never really cared for Kevon Looney. That was Mike Brown's GM. Mike Brown started playing Kevon Looney in the playoffs. I forgot which series that was. And he realized Kevon Looney was the mismatch, the X factor. He was the one who started putting Kevon Looney in because Kevon Looney wanted to get no play before then. And then once they did what they did and everything panned out, Mike won the ring and Looney proved himself. That's when Kerr realized he had no choice but to start playing Kevon more. So Kerr has this thing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Well, I think we said this last episode. I'm gonna say it again. LeVar Ball has the best quote on Steve Kerr. He's the Milli Vanilli of coaching. And that is the honest to God truth. The man,
blame it on the rain. You can hear the record skipping in the background, can't you? You can hear the lip syncing going on.
Yeah. You can hear the additional vocals.
That's what's up, man. That the Grammys put on the show that he ain't even performing like CNC Music Factory, That's what it is, man.
Man got 4 rings with ghost coaches.
That's what it is. Like, as far as the Lakers, it's a place 2 hours away from Memphis, Tennessee. I had to look it up.
I was gonna say this, and one more thing about Kuminga. I looked up and I was wondering why he ain't playing him. And I didn't find that because when I went and looked it up, the kid last year, he averaged right at 10 points a game, 9.4, and 3 rebounds, playing 16 minutes a game.
I mean, it's obvious he deserved to get the clock. So, again, that's on the coach. You can't put that on nobody else.
And he shot 37%. Last year, he shot 36, maybe. This season, he improved. Now, he only took 2 attempts per game, but that's still not bad. At 2 attempts per game, he was shooting 37% this season for 3.
I mean, the kid got game, man. It's just, he got a coach that don't believe in him. And it's a bit of he wanted to play it too safe, and that was a little too safe. as far as the Lakers side of things, man, it's a place 2 hours away. I looked it up, called Newark, Arkansas. And that is home to a guy named Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, I owe you an apology. I was not familiar with your game.
Hey, that might, you got that look in his eye.
He got that look like he wants. He got that look like he wants a Bentley yacht. Is what he looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
It was shots. It was moments last night. That man went up for a rebound, or he would go up for a layup under contact, fight through the contact. And when he come down in the middle of the contact, this is not playing. You can't play in this or nothing. I watch everything. I can see you blink a certain way, I pick up something on you. I saw the look in his eyes. They were coming down in the middle of the contact. He was getting fouled. I said, man, that Austin Reeves can't play. That's a real killer, man. I smelled it on him. I said, you can see it in his eye. I said, man, that young boy there, he might not be an all-star. He might just turn out to be a damn good role player like he is now. But when it come down to the come down, Austin Reeves got real killer instinct. Like, for real.
And do you know what that reminds me of, people? That reminds me of a guy by the name of Daniel Booby Gibson. Yes. People that play with LeBron James, for some reason, turned into superhuman people on the basketball court.
He used to be the cornerball king.
LeBron James got that man married to Keisha Cole. Okay? Playing with LeBron.
I love a hip-hop contract.
Yeah.
What he got through playing ball.
It is crazy playing with LeBron. He gets Anderson Varejao $10 million a year in the league with a way smaller salary cap before. It's just something about playing with dude, man. It's gonna do something for you. I don't know what it is. I ain't never been in the locker room with him, but it do something.
I think I will say this though. Austin Reeves is definitely better than Daniel Gibson.
I don't know. I wasn't saying that.
Landslide. Now, but I do agree. He's about to get Austin damn near max contract. He's about to get him paid better than he really is.
Yeah, he's gonna get paid, man. Braun is. I mean, what can you say, man? Dude's the leading scorer all time in the playoffs and regular season. Top 5 in assists, top 30 or 40, 50, whatever in rebound. Like, it's just crazy at this point. He's gonna probably put things out of reach as he keeps playing. At least in my lifetime. I'm knocking on 40, so
they gonna look back and they're look at LeBron numbers almost like Wilt. They're like, who is this Wilt and LeBron guys? My God.
Yeah, it's crazy to see dudes' longevity. And from a physical standpoint, he still bullied a bunch of people way younger than him, 10 years plus younger.
And he'll still out. His quick twitch is still there. He'll still out jump one. I'm so glad you mentioned it. I love how you bring yourself. I just want to add it to that. I seen him go for a rebound last, not this game, but the game before. And it was who I was on the court. It was like the bitch, the younger version, the younger Golden State players, the ones are supposed to have the spring now. Then maybe that's the thing. They don't have enough athletic dip off the bitch. They should be playing Kaminga for that reason. But LeBron just jumped up and grabbed the rebound so quick, man. It was like they were coming up and you just saw a big yellow jersey already with a black hand, black arm coming out grabbing the rebound. Just that he's to still be able to do that at 38, bro, to get off the ground quicker than these young
20
boys.
years. I mean, but he won the genetic lottery. We all know it. Ooh, he won it in ways we still are marveling at. Got people out here screaming HGH. They hate him so much.
Freeze his mama. Freeze Gloria James eggs. Respectfully.
What?
Freeze them.
That is insanity. That woman is probably way past the birthing age. But I don't know who his pops was, but whoever he was, man, and whatever that combination is, it was great to produce that guy. AD went out there, when healthy. Anthony Davis is clearly the best big in the NBA.
Facts.
Two-way.
I'm so glad you said that. For us Grizzly fans, I'm sorry, I just got to do this. All y'all out there, Grizz Nation, understand it's levels to this shit. I rock with Jaren. That's a good man. Great example. Handsome, Mandingo body, young, sex examples. What more could you want, right? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of folks don't even know this about Jaren. Jaren is the president of the HOA in the neighborhood he live in. At 23, that's crazy.
Hold on.
Most of us, if we was able to get in the neighborhood with an HOA, we were trying to just sneak in. We didn't even want to really realize we was over there. Here he is, the HOA president. So it just speaks volumes about his character as a young man already, right? Love him.
He just said this man was the HOA president.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, man, you know.
But as far as y'all, he's only 23. Let me explain something to you. When Anthony Davis was 23 years old, the same age that Jaren is now, Anthony Davis played 75 games. Jared played 63. Yeah, he played 63. Anthony Davis averaged 28 points. Jaren Jackson averaged 18. Anthony Davis averaged 12 rebounds. Jaren Jackson averaged 6 or 7. Anthony Davis averaged over 2 assists a game. Jaren Jackson, I don't even think he averaged 1. Anthony Davis averaged 2 blocks a game, 2.2 blocks a game, 2.5 maybe. Jaren Jackson averaged 3 steals. Anthony Davis averaged almost 2 steals a game. The man was a complete monster. Stop doing that. Even at 23, it's not the same. It's levels to it. And I know y'all want us to, we all want them to get there, but we got to hold them accountable. I was in a big Twitter conversation today. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out to Lynette. I will shout y'all out. But we were in a nice heated conversation there about them trolling the Warriors fans with the Clay situation because Clay called Jaren a bum. Now they saying who's the bum now. So that's the whole trolling thing online. I just want to say I'm sorry, but I got to get this in. And they were making the point that, well, Clay didn't play well. He sucked. He was terrible, whatever. And I said, man, he was a bum, which you can argue he was. But I argued about the same thing. First of all, I get it. Now, if we just here to troll the fans because they talking trash, that's cool. But if we're talking in terms of logic, what are we doing? They made the second round. We got put out the first. That's just like somebody on the first floor taunting somebody on the second floor. You got to look up to say what you got to say to me. What are we doing? So I just wanted to put that out there as far as with the fans. I get it, but there's levels to this with AD versus anybody else. That's the best big in the league. Do you see the rim protection? Do you see the rebounding, the boxing out, the physicality, the in-between things, the nuances? That's why Anthony Davis can go get 10 rebounds and 14 points at halftime and end the game with almost 20 rebounds and 30 points. That's why.
He was number 1 pick for a reason. He was a college player on the Olympic team for a reason, right? Like he just got the natural talent. He's another winner of a genetic lottery. The guy was a point guard and had a crazy growth spurt. And, now we're here. You know what I'm saying? He filled out. He put on probably 40 pounds since he got to the league, maybe 50. So the guy, he's built for it, right? And they truly went out there and dominated Golden State. D'Angelo Russell, another player in the playoffs, he never really showed up. He get on the team with LeBron James. All of a sudden, he looked like a starter in the playoffs because he didn't look like one against the Grizzlies last year, and he didn't look like one when he was with the Nets that time they made it. So that's not, it's just something about playing with dude, man. I don't know what type of motivation it is, but when guys get on the team with people like him, when they get on the team with people like Kobe Bryant, what Bynum was able to do when he was actually interested in the game, the times you were able to get him interested, what players did when they got on the team with Jordan, Bill Cartwright, people like that. Like, it's just great players just bring something different out of people, for whatever the reason. Like, people just feel like they can go into battle with these people and it could be 6 of them and they can beat the whole army. So, that's what we saw with the Lakers, in my opinion. They hopped up on that Bron juice and they went out there And they did what they did. Whether you like dude or not, you hating on him is not going to stop him from walking Andrew Wiggins under the rim and just laying the ball up very easily, or making Moses Moody look like he didn't even belong out there from a physical standpoint.
Or being, as you said just a second ago, empowering figure, the impact that he has in terms of empowering his teammates. Like you just said, D'Angelo is a known choker in the playoffs historically. Then here you come with LeBron, you putting up 5-6 threes at halftime now, you know what I'm saying? So going back to what you said in terms of that being another factor, like his ability to empower his teammates and help them be the best version of themselves, bro, that's so underrated and unstated in terms of his legacy.
We're gonna touch on what I like to call the woe is me sons. These guys, hey man, listen.
The woe is me sons.
The woe is me sons. Listen, Chris Paul needs to call up Cliff Paul, and he needs to go and take that insurance out around every time in the playoffs. It's a wrap. Hang that shit up. Hang it up.
I hate to see it.
Hang it up. You're one of the best point guards ever. But unless Chris Paul can sit out until after the All-Star break every year and just come in when you need him in, that's the only way it's gonna work, man. He's not gonna make it to the playoffs. It's just not gonna happen. As far as Aiden,
I was gonna say this about Chris Paul since you mentioned him. He, in terms of steps taken on the court, they track everything now. He's the most active player in the history of the NBA. He's taken, and this was already like at 12 years in, 10 years in, he had already taken more steps on the court than anybody in history. So imagine it.
I mean, that sounds like a personal decision to me. That sounds like he chose to run around like a chicken with his head cut off and wear his body out.
Right.
Hell, Will Chamberlain averaged 48.5 minutes for a whole season, 82 games once. That means this man didn't sit down.
Right,
he was playing overtime. So
right.
It's cool he was doing all that running around, but it ran him into the ground, is what I'm saying. Like, I like Chris Paul, I do. But he need to call up Cliff Paul and cash in on that insurance for his body, because it's over with.
But I was gonna say this, he does a lot of running around. But let's keep it real. I gotta say this because I gotta add context to those steps. He did so much for so many teams.
I mean, he's a phenomenal player, but
and also he covered so much ground in every aspect of the game. That's where the steps come. So it ain't just somebody, because I had to add that to it, because you got people who do just run around.
Yeah,
you have a
Pat Bell,
right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. Cards 46. Your boy, your favorite player. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what I'm saying? There are guys that are like it. So I had to separate the two, because his was such a productive running around.
I mean, he top 5 in assists. I know he up there in steals as well, like at least probably top 10 or something close. The dude's phenomenal, but again, it's a wrap. You can call up Saran, you can bring out the
unless, like you said, unless he'll have to play like Kyle Lowry did. Like, a lot of folks was mad at Kyle. Remember when like throughout the season, they was talking so bad about Kyle. Kyle know what he doing. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, Pat Riley knew, hey man, you need to sit out
right.
and just come in and play. And that's my point. It's like, all right, bro, just sit out like 50 games. Like, you're not getting on no more teams or nothing like that anyway. First team, you're not doing
all this.
So just sit out and just get ready for the playoffs. As far as Aiden, I think that the Suns got karma based on Aiden's production and looks like his interest level on the court. That man wanted to leave. He was scratching and clawing to get out of there.
But I say this, though. To me, I would say this: DeAndre Ayton, if this ever reached to you, man, you got the mind of a boy. I'm just gonna keep it 100, bro. Man, you got the mind of a boy, man. Man, bro, whatever you got going on with Monty and how you feel about that organization, bro, y'all was too close for you to do that, bro. That's weird, bro. Bro, it was so much bigger than that, bro. It's like you like the dude for everybody that play NBA 2K, you know how you'll get the one guy on your team in the rig to where he'll start, like, if he ain't getting the ball enough or whatever, he'll tank the game. He running out of bounds. So now they calling turnovers on y'all because one of y'all players standing out of bounds, which is a turnover. Or he just standing in the backcourt, or he'll fall out, or he'll take the ball when he get the inbound and just sit in there and get a 5-second call. He taking the game because he ain't getting the touches he got. That's what you did, DeAndre. You one of them dudes, bro. You one of them dudes in the rig, bro, that'll sit there and take the game and stand out of bounds and comes to make the team get turnovers until they grade you out the rig game with the D-. You that guy, bro. You that guy, bro. You a coward, bro, for what you did. I'm going to call it like it is, bro. If I was Chris Paul, I would have sprung on you in the locker room. I don't care who. I would have got my fine. I'm cool with it. But everybody going to know, man, if I take this man here, I already know if I take the game, I better have some security in the locker room because bro going to try to spring on me. I might win, lose, or draw, but you're going to get that first lead.
For everybody looking at this who is not from Memphis, sprung on and sprung on. Sprung on is present tense for doing what Draymond did to Poole.
Right.
Sprung on is the past tense of that, meaning I happened to spring on him at once upon a time. Right. So that's what that means, y'all. It means to hit somebody with a ball up fist. We got to translate for you.
Appreciate that.
That's some Memphis vernacular that's spectacular, you know. For me, you know, watching that Suns team, man, I feel sorry for Devin Booker. And for the Memphis contingent that seemed to be so hell-bent on bringing Kevin Durant. Let me speak to y'all. I have to speak to y'all.
Yeah, because I'm one of them. But I still feel that way.
That man went out there and did absolutely nothing worth what he got traded for.
Oh, I agree. That's where your depth's supposed to be there, though.
What depth? They traded it.
Right.
What depth? They traded
Kevin Durant. You knew when you came, they were going to clean the cupboard.
Hey, listen, man.
Right. Big facts.
The Durantula, the Slim Reaper, the helper, as he wanted to be called once, whatever name you want to call the guy, he was what they call.
He's still him now. Stop that, man.
He wasn't.
Yes, but he still had this bad Kevin Durant, the worst we ever seen in the playoffs.
He was H&M. He was missing the I in the middle. Because I saw a bunch of missed shots. The dude did decent, man, but he didn't do what he.
Of course,
he didn't do what they brought him to do.
I agree. He wasn't Jordan Poole or Klay Thomas back.
No, but he was not trade away Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson good.
And 4 picks with right.
He was not that good. It's looking like. Yeah, it's beginning to look a lot like he missed this. Whoever brought dude over.
But it's not too late. Because that leads into a question we had. Why won't you call it? Because that leads into a topic that's been proposed.
I'm just saying that with the new CBA, the new collective bargaining agreement, they already over the cap. Being a repeat offender is a very bad thing now, as Golden State is about to find out and go through. So with that said, that KD situation, I mean, it don't matter what he do in the regular season because that ain't what you brought him there for. I saw Devin Booker going out there fighting like Achilles on Troy. And I saw everybody else be his little cousin or whoever that was that Hector got rid of.
But we know Durant was hurt, though.
I mean, he might have been hurt, man. Everybody playing hurt in the playoff. You just said Ja had a hurt hand, man. He giving him 40-something. Like, nah, ain't no. Listen.
Durant damn near 40-something. It ain't.
Nah, he younger than Bron. About 4 or 5 years.
Nah, Durant like 34, 35.
Okay, he about 4 years. He younger than Bron. About 4 years.
He been hurt too, but he was hurt to start the playoffs.
Hey, listen. Plenty of people been hurt. Jordan came off a broke foot 1 year and came in and kicked ass. So ain't none of that. They got rid of way too much. Listen, if Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson was playing, quote me on this, they probably would have beat Denver. More than likely, I think they would have beat Denver.
I believe it.
Because Mikal Bridges would have been out there playing way better defense, and so would Cam Johnson. And they also would have been able to give Aaron Gordon hell coming out there having to recover and go out that 3-point line instead of playing in the mid post where Booker would have been.
Had they included Memphis in that trade and sent us Cam Johnson and just took Tyus and whatever, maybe they would have helped.
I don't know what they would have done. I know they could have left well enough alone. And they honestly at the beginning of the year, they should have done a sign and trade with the Indiana Pacers and sent Ayton there and then brought in Miles Turner and let him stretch the floor from the three.
I know they regret that.
A lot of things could have helped them. That's what Phoenix was. That's why I call them "woe is me" sons this year, because they did nothing but shoot themselves in the foot the entire season.
Now Aiden value so low because everybody know he got to get traded now.
Aiden is the center version of Jordan Poole. He is the center version of Jordan Poole.
But I'll give him it. I think he lower than that. He almost Andrew Bynum, man. He's somewhere in between Jordan Poole and Andrew Bynum. The reason why I say that because you right. I'm glad you said, but I'm just providing even more context to it. He's in between Andrew Bynum and Jordan Poole. And the only reason why I say that is because at least Jordan Poole went out there and shot the ball. God, at least you did. This man sat out with sore ribs.
He shot the ball like he was walking a tightrope. He was off balance on every shot.
My facts.
And his defense.
But I think that's two, though, goes to testament to one, we know it's off court that messed their whole vibe up.
True.
And then, but two, we got to remember he was a second round pick anyway. He wasn't never supposed to be this guy, even though he got the contract now. You got the money now, so regardless of what you're supposed to be. But when you look at it, you can't help but look at it and say, at the end of the day, yeah, you was foolish enough to get him that contract. But at the end of the day, we all knew Jordan Poole wasn't never supposed to be that guy anyway.
Well, they banked on what they saw. Now, what was you gonna roll into?
With Chris Paul and the trade. I seen on Twitter a lot of people asking this question. Shout out to who came up with this trade? Was it Black Lives Matter? Grizz company, man. I think it might have been him. But anyway, I just been seeing this trade float throughout Twitter, especially this morning, of adding Chris Paul as the backup. So we're talking about trading. My fault. Trading. Probably Conchar's contract. Clark. Who did they say? I think Conchar and Clark for Chris Paul's contract. They probably gonna have to add in somebody else with like $10 million worth of money off the bench. I don't think it was Tyus. I hope that was not the offer. But yeah, so they were talking about bringing in Chris Paul to replace Tyus as the backup. What you think?
Absolutely not. Get somebody to back up Ja Morant that's over 6'3", that can dribble the ball, that can shoot the ball, and that can body up on defense. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
But I mean, other than the 6'3", Paul, Chris Paul does all of that if you use him in the minutes you're gonna use him.
Leave him where he at.
I feel
especially
at 30 million.
Leave him exactly where he's at, because he's not going. I want somebody that's gonna be able to go pick up the player that they're trying to use as a mismatch against Ja when they attack Ja. Chris Paul is not going to make up for that. You need whoever the backup point guard is, they also need to be able to play alongside Ja. If for no other reason, it's because Jenkins got minutes synced up like that and he don't move away from his rotations. So that's the reason I say that. As far as the Tyus situation, look, this year coming up, he's going to be a rental player. And he's really going to be auditioning to be a starter for real this time. And you can't risk that, man. You can move him while he still got that aura around him because he leads the league in consecutive years in the turnover assist ratio. And when he starts, he averages around 18 points, right? So around 18 points, anywhere from 8 to 10 assists. The dude, it's a lot of teams out here, especially all these young teams. They need somebody to steward their ship. They need somebody at the helm that can handle the rough waves when the storm comes. There goes Tyus. Now, give us one of your wings. Yes, lemon pepper, whatever, wet season, whatever you got going.
Barbecue.
Give us one of your wings and conditional pick. I don't care what round. I'll just take the wing. I'm hungry.
I ain't gonna lie though, the premium is on wings right now, so we'll be the one giving up picks.
The reason I don't think so is when you look at the disaster that is the Houston Rockets. Yeah, plenty of young wings, but they don't play the game right.
Eason does.
But he can't play point. So it doesn't matter. Right. It's nobody that
I got you.
It's nobody to do. Yeah,
show,
it's several teams like that in the NBA right now.
Right, they use tights. I got you.
Yeah, they can use them right now.
But they got Kevin. They just gave Kevin Porter the extension.
Who?
Kevin Porter Jr.
Who?
Oh, right.
I'm talking about studying the ship, and you're talking about a guy that's a kamikaze artist.
Right, a guy that has thrown stuff at several coaches.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is not just on the court, but like that. You know, that's the type of team you want to send Tyus to, because he's young enough to right the ship and still play with veteran leadership. He can be that veteran leadership. Right. When you look at the Knicks, look at what the Knicks look like with the point guard they've been needing. They're a way better team when you don't have to depend on Randall to play the offense through. Brunson, if what was that, Hart, whoever that was, if they moved over 3 feet to the right, he would have seen them and they could have got a shot off. So I
tweeted about that the game, like that was crazy. Like the fact that, bro, you went in there, you ran in there like that, you know you small, and there was 3 people waiting on you, and you threw. Hart would sit out for 5 seconds just waiting on him. Like, sit outside at the top of the
couldn't see him.
Like, bro, you know, like, what you think they gonna all do? Collapse? They know y'all got limited shooters anyway, so they already know if you collapse, you take away the only shooter really on the court.
Yeah, I mean, it was a situation, you know, there were, regardless, this year they wouldn't have had the year they had without Brunson. And a lot of teams need to be looking at that. You can go get somebody that was an afterthought or whatever, come in and run point for you and really steady the ship. Just look at what Cameron Payne does for the Suns when Chris Paul is not there. Now, they need to be concerned about bagging up Cameron Payne at this point, because he's a start. You cannot justify starting Chris Paul again for another year. There's no way you can justify that.
I mean, but honestly, though, I can't say, because when he's healthy, if you're going to not have him at all, then, because if he's healthy, he's still a good player.
No, that's my point. You don't need him at all.
Right.
Like, Chris, like if look,
because he's still good when he's healthy. It's just
you can have
health is just not there.
You can have the greatest employee ever, but if they only there Thursday and Friday, right. I'd rather have somebody that's 2 notches below on Monday through Friday. That's how I'm functioning.
Availability is your greatest ability.
Exactly, man. It'll do it, and durability is what fuels that. So, you know, with the Tyus situation, man, just go get a wing. Just go get any type of wing. Fried hard, man, and whatever type of dipping sauce you need, but we need it. You know, and there's a lot of teams again that could use him to right their ship. Ed had an experience not too long ago. Tell him about your experience, man, in a completely different sport, of course. Tell him about it.
Yeah, man, I'm tripping right now. I thought about it. I got on my Russell Wilson jersey, and I should have went and put on my show house shirt. That's what I was tripping, man. I started to go put it on anyway. But yeah, I went to the Showboats game. I forgot who they played that week. Was it Houston? Anyway, it was pretty good. Shout out to Brandon Baumgartner on Twitter, because he's one of the people that's working in the front office over there at the USFL. We always rap on Twitter. So shout out to you, big fella. Yeah, as far as the game experience, it actually was surprisingly good, man. We ended up pulling up. I parked. It was a white lady got a house over there, directly across the street from the Liberty Bowl. She happened to have a parking space right there. I pulled up, slid on in for the 20, I think it was, something like that. Walked on in, and so they had half of the Liberty Bowl cut off. So the half that they did have tickets available for, it was pretty much sold out. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. They were constantly giving out, throwing out t-shirts. For some reason, I didn't get a free t-shirt. I felt entitled. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I wanted a free t-shirt. Everybody had one except me. You know what I'm saying? And I paid for a couple of pretty decent seats. I spent $100 on that game. So I wanted me a free little t-shirt. Everybody else had one. But yeah, so it was actually cool as far as the product on the field. I will say this about the shirts. I ended up buying a couple of the shirts after concession. They were like $40, something like that, $35 a piece or something like that. I can't remember. But as far as the merch, It was good they had merch because that's really one of the main things I came for. Because I wanted to have that Memphis Showboat merch. We always, we hustle, reality, So I definitely wanted that Memphis Showboat merch. The shirts were cool, everything was fine. I will say I would look forward to the growth, the development of the merch, like that factor, because I think that's one way that the USFL can really tap into this younger audience, the younger targets that they're really eventually gonna have to really cater towards. The young kids like merch, so if they really focus on getting some fly designers in there to collab with them on the merch, kind of like what the Grizzlies did with South Memphis Hooligan. Shout out to South Memphis Hooligan and Black Hippie. Shout out to him as well. The way they did with the Section 118 collection and stuff like that, when they collab with the Grizzlies, I actually got one of the couple of the shirts from them downstairs too. But that was really dope. That's what it's gonna really lock in certain people. Like they really can tap all markets. And I think that if they really reach out with some of the local designers and somehow work out something where y'all can have them come in and collab and design some of their merch, that's another great way to tackle the angle. Because if you want to be honest, the NFL merch sucks. Like it really does, because it's the same stuff and it's all catered to They really got this, hey man, we the NFL. You buy it or you don't, and folks gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? And respect that. I respect it. Y'all are a startup in a sense, or a restart up. So one way to tackle the new audience is do something everybody else ain't doing. And one way to do that in this particular situation is the merch. So I mentioned it to Brandon Baumgartner when we was in the spaces recently. So hopefully that's something that'll get to the right people's hands. I know he told me that the main office that's running everything is in Birmingham. That's why they played the whole season in Birmingham last year. So hopefully this will reach, or somehow that the concept, the idea will reach to you, the USL out there in Birmingham. Because, man, that's a really good way, a good angle to tackle into this new age, new generation. So I just want to say that about it. And as far as the on the field product itself, it was pretty cool. It was good to see Brady White came out there. It was a little disappointed because Brady struggled. I ain't gonna lie, Brady struggled. That he struggled in terms of just, man, lunching and getting that ball down the field. He wasn't moving the ball. When the backup came in behind him, he had a stronger arm, much stronger arm. And he was taking shots down the field and they were connecting. So I'm like, okay, it ain't the receivers, it's the quarterback. Because when they do take the shots down the field, the receivers snatching it. They running back was solid. I forgot his name, number 44. He was pretty cool. More of a power back these days. He was actually pretty good at college. I forgot the man's name. I mean, he was number 44, so you know what we're talking about. But it kind of reminded me of another 44, Najee Davenport. But overall, it was pretty good. They struggled with their defense. Their secondary was definitely something that needed some work on it. I remember their front seven was solid, especially the front four. So they definitely got a nice little defensive line they can build around that. On offense, the offensive line was terrible. So I think once they really lock in with the quarterback and get them an offensive line, I think they'll have a good product as far as the team itself and what they can turn out to do. Because they actually, despite all the deficiencies they got on the offensive line, the secondary, and their quarterback, they still were able to keep that a close game all the way to the end. And they've had close games pretty much all season in the games that they lost. So once they tweak those things, that's gonna really put them over the top in their league. But yep, so that was my experience with the USFL. Overall, it was pretty dope. I rock with it. I'm probably gonna go to the game next week. I went with my son the first time. I'm gonna probably take him again. Probably whoever else did decide to come out to that game, probably go with. But yeah, man, it was pretty cool experience. Definitely something worth doing on a Saturday afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock. If you ain't going to a brunch, or you don't want to sit in the house or go to the park, that's a perfect spot to go to, man. $20, $30. Tickets like $10. So
there we have it, man. Second tier football at a professional level is here. for the people that wanted football in the off season, you got a chance to go in whatever cities that they're actually playing games in. Right. So go out, support it. You said you wanted it. You wanted football more time all year long. So, it's right in front of you now. You got a chance to go. You got a pretty decent product out there. And a lot of those guys are probably, doing low-end auditions for NFL teams anyway. So, shout out to them, man. I wish they lead much success. We done went over the topics. So this is Dez and Ed.
Oh man, we forgot one more thing. We gotta integrate it, man. The sneaker game, they both of them.
Oh man, I forgot.
This you tripping.
I forgot when you go first.
Too important right here, man. We got. You go. I go first. Yeah, I go first. Don't mind me. You can see I had to hit him with the old school. Indeed.
Yeah, the guy matches top to bottom match.
Yeah. Man, I'm country as a fool, right? We coordinate.
With me, I got on Rough Feathers. Shout out my guy Antonio from South Memphis.
Okay. I was wondering. Yeah. I was curious. I was gonna ask you that. I got something to rip and run. I was gonna ask you about. Yeah, man. What's up with the clothing line?
My guy Antonio has a clothing line. Been out for multiple years. He does good sales, good business. Rough Feathers Clothing. This is like a set I got on right here. The kicks. These are the I don't know if y'all can see it, but these are
put them to the camera.
These are air penny ones.
What's up?
These are air penny ones right here, man.
With the Memphis Pros.
Yeah, like they the little penny joints.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta come fresh with it. So yeah, that's what I'm rocking today. And shout out again, Antonio Rough Feathers. Y'all check out roughfeathers.com. Check my guy out.
Yes, sir. I'm actually gonna check them out too. Definitely, absolutely. And I got on the Yeezy Knits Soul for Joints. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. I know. Oh, wee. Oh, yeah. I know, man. Yeah, man. And they authentic, man. Everything we put out here authentic, man.
So, with that said and shown, this is Dez and Ed.
It's Ed and Dez.
Yeah, this is a podcast from around the way, man. Y'all do y'all thing.